How's it going, everybody? It's Prod here and welcome back to another video. So today I have a kind of a funny topic to talk about. I really wasn't going to make a video on this, but I've had a couple of people ask me about it, so I kind of have had fluctuating thoughts about this, but something convinced me today to make a video on it. So one of the biggest things that probably has ever happened at Elden Ring, apart from obviously initial release coming out and the DLC coming out, if we're talking about just straight up randomly before the DLC announcement or anything like that, and that is because one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, Kai Cenat, is currently streaming Elden Ring for the first time. Now, it's just kind of like a first playthrough, but this guy is huge. I mean, literally right now, he's pulling an average of 120,000 viewers watching him play Elden Ring for the first time. And the crazy part is he says he's going to play it for the first time from start to finish until he's done. He will not stop the stream. Now, some people might be asking, who is he? Giant streamer. Maybe some of you guys haven't heard of him. And the primary reason is because he does do a lot of just chatting and real life stuff, which I personally don't watch. So it makes sense that maybe some people who are really only into Dark Souls or Souls fans don't really know about him, but you know, he's a huge streamer. Like I said, averages over 100,000 views. He broke the world record for fastest person to 100,000 subscribers on Twitch. He has had at one point, I'm pretty sure at this point still has the world record for being the most subscribed person ever on Twitch with 300,000 subs, which is just a ridiculous number. Crazy. So he's a massive streamer. For sure, this is the biggest thing to happen at Elden Ring other than the DLC announcement or anything related to the DLC and the release and the drop of the game. But it's been going at an interesting pace. So apparently there's been multiple situations where he has just straight up gotten caught on a boss for 6 hours. The man got stuck on the tree sentinel for 6 hours until we finally beat it, which is crazy. Right, so this shows me something. Not only did he 100% do zero research, which I fucking love, because I could imagine a lot of people would have done in sort of a cheatsy little way, kind of done their research on the game, gone to see what the optimal situation is, seen that this is a side boss, know to skip him and stuff like that. This man straight up is on a warpath to attack literally anything that moves, and he saw the boss and decided to go for it. And he actually did beat it, you know, even though it took 6 hours. And I know a lot of people will scoff at that and go 6 hours to beat a boss. Fucking love it, and I commend it, because that shit takes commitment, you know. What it shows me is that this guy legitimately is in for the long haul. But I don't think he really understands how long of a haul it really is going to be. So like I said, it took him 6 hours to beat the tree sentinel. And I'm actually going to check where he's at now. So like I said, he's currently live with 112,000 people. And by the way, he has that he's going to be streaming for 100 hours. This playthrough is going to take way more than 100 hours. He already has 360 deaths, 25 hours in. And from the looks of it, he does not seem to be that far into the game at all. So a billion trillion %. This dude is not beating Elden Ring within 100 hours. This stream, if he does want it to go all the way to the end without stopping, it's going to take so much more than that. But one of the things that really made me want to make the video on this is that on Twitter, I just saw somebody post that after 20 hours and 250 plus deaths, he finally defeated, which is crazy, you know. I think people have to go back and think about it. This guy has for sure never played any Souls game. 100% you can tell by him, you know, picking fights with even just the tree sentinel. I think a lot of Souls players, especially somebody who knows a little bit about Elden Ring, knows that some stuff is just not going to be winnable right away. But he decides to persevere and keep going and bash his head into this wall, which is freaking amazing. I love to see it, man. He has a lot of commitment to the game, to the run, way more than I see some people. There's sometimes where, for example, I'm doing some tough challenge and I'm fighting a really particularly difficult boss and it's taking me a while. You know, there's bosses that I fought that have taken me hundreds of hours. I mean, hell, when we did Soul Level 1 Bloodborne, Orphan of Cause took us 500 attempts like legitimately 9 hours, 8 hours, something crazy. The amount of people that were so negative in those fights within like 2 hours, 3 hours, who were like, just give up and cheese them, use some type of cheese, cheese, you know, like it does get frustrating to a certain point. So it is really refreshing to see somebody who is new to the series and decides, no, you know what, like I'm actually gonna take my time, even if it takes 200 plus attempts to beat one of the early bosses, and I'm gonna keep going until he fucking dies. I really like to see that. It is a nice refreshing taste. It's way more than I thought, to be honest. Like I thought that he was probably gonna like complain a lot throughout the playthrough and decide to, you know, just maybe even summon or use different summons throughout the playthrough. But so far he seems to be doing everything solo. Seems committed to the run. Hell, he even has people like Travis Scott replying to him and like sending him pictures of him playing Elden Ring as well, which by the way, pretty decent fashion from Travis Scott. Got the blasphemous. Hey, it ain't bad, you know. It looks like everybody's preparing for the goddamn DLC. I think he's probably DLC ready as well. But it's cool to see so much attention being brought to Elden Ring before the DLC comes out, because this is just going to bring so many new players for us to invade, you know, people to watch videos, people who may stick to the series and end up playing it themselves, boost the sales a lot for the game, especially before the DLC comes out. It's cool to see. I 100% don't think he's going to hit that 100-hour playthrough in his mind. Like I said, it took me 100 hours, and but you know, I did everything in the game that you can possibly do in a first playthrough. I think that maybe if he just focuses on the main bosses, maybe he can do the 100-hour run. If I had any suggestions, it would definitely be, you know, don't get stuck on something for so long. Like, there's a lot of different paths that you can take in this game. I think, you know, the things most people say to newer players would 100% be great for him, because it seems like he just likes bashing his head into a wall, which is great. But this is one of those games where there's 6 other paths if you get stuck in one path, and you can go around and get yourself a little bit stronger. So I think if he kind of refocused to do that a little bit more, I could see the 100-hour run being a definite possibility. But it's super cool to see this, man. It's always nice when a game that you play gets a lot of attention from like the outside, you know, like it gets a lot of attention from Souls fans and like the gaming community, but he brings with him like probably 100,000 people who maybe have never seen this game or have no idea what the hell this game is, and then all of a sudden it's at the tippity top of the Twitch charts and everybody's starting new playthroughs and everybody's doing runs related to him. It's cool to see, and I always enjoy it. I'm always very positive when it comes to these type of things. But let me know what you guys think. You know, do you think it's cringy to see somebody smash their face over and over on a playthrough? But just think about this, you know, think about your first run. Think about your first time ever playing a Souls game. If he sticks with it and sees it to the end, he could have that moment that we all had when we first played a Souls game. That feeling of finally beating a boss after multiple hours and hundreds of attempts, you know, and he seems to be having a few of those already. So if he really sticks with it, although you can only handle so many of those though, you can only handle so many 6-hour boss fights, I for sure think he's going to get a little bit better. He seems to be getting a lot of practice. So who knows, man, in another 48 hours, he might be pretty fucking good at this game. That would be pretty awesome to see. I would love to see that progression, and I'm actually kind of excited to watch a little bit more of this. And I wanted to try to invade him, but obviously the way the invasion system works in this game probably won't be possible. But hey, if he starts summoning, which maybe he will, I'm not entirely sure what the rules are there that he has set upon himself. I don't think he will, but if he does, I will be invading. Anyways, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you guys. If you made it this far, maybe a like would help out the channel. Thank you if you leave one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.